Merci à tous d'être présents, aussi nombreux quand même à cette conférence Person of Interest. Donc tout d'abord un petit mot sur les lieux, parce qu'il y a nous accueillons aussi des personnes extérieures. On est au pôle Léonard de Vinci, qui est un regroupement de 3 écoles. Une école d'ingénieurs, qui s'appelle les Sylves, une école de management, l'UMLV, et une école de design numérique, qui s'appelle l'Institut de l'Internet et du Multimédia. Alors quelques petits mots juste sur l'école. On a quand même une identité, un ADN. Il y a pas mal d'étudiants ici qui vont pouvoir confirmer. On est très orienté sur de la pédagogie projet. Donc nos étudiants font énormément de projets dès la première année jusqu'à la dernière année. Et aussi une autre dimension qui nous permet de bénéficier de la structure, c'est d'être transverse, c'est-à-dire de pouvoir faire travailler et des managers, et des ingénieurs, et des designers ensemble. Donc on organise également en autre outil ce type de conférence, Person of Interest, dont l'objectif est de montrer l'expertise menée au sein par nos labos de recherche, donc nos anciens chercheurs, mais également nos partenaires extérieurs, tels que Katia aujourd'hui. Alors, avant de commencer, je voudrais remercier le service communication d'avoir bien voulu organiser cette conférence, notamment Julie, je ne sais pas où elle est, mais voilà. Merci à Julie et Anne-Marie Patard d'avoir permis cet événement d'exister. Alors Katia est notre intervenante aujourd'hui. Katia est chercheuse associée au Media Lab du MIT, le célèbre Media Lab, mais je pense que, je ne sais pas si tout le monde connaît, le Media Lab c'est le premier Fab Lab au monde, c'est-à-dire c'est un laboratoire de recherche au MIT où le but est de concevoir des nouveaux produits innovants. Donc c'est des projets dans tous les sens, vous allez pouvoir constater les travaux de Katia qui touchent beaucoup sur le design, sur l'ingénierie, sur les nouvelles méthodes d'enseignement et de management, ces différents cœurs, c'est les principaux cœurs de recherche au Media Lab que nous y menons. Alors Katia va nous parler aujourd'hui de beauty technology, qui est un terme qu'elle a inventé. Elle a écrit notamment un livre qui s'appelle Designing Seamless Interface for Wearable Computing. Alors qu'est-ce que ça veut dire tout ça? Tout d'abord, il faut savoir que Katia est passionnée de magie. Elle est passionnée de magie, elle est passionnée de high-tech. Et donc, qu'est-ce qu'elle a fait? Elle s'est intéressée à la cosmétique et à faire disparaître l'informatique et à la mettre sur nos corps. Parce qu'elle est également passionnée, comme notre groupe de travail au Media Lab, sur les augmentations des capacités humaines, c'est-à-dire de nous donner de nouvelles capacités à travers la technologie. Donc, je ne vais pas plus vous prendre la parole, et je vais confier la parole à Katia Vega, qui je vous demande d'accueillir chaleureusement.
Bonjour. Well, that's all my French. Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to me to be here in Paris, in this university, and thank you very much to Clement for the invitation. We were talking, I think, some months ago when we were at MIT Media Lab, like, oh yeah, you should come to show this to my university. So now I'm here, and I would like to share with you what I have been doing the last, I think, maybe 6 years. And it's something that I call beauty technology. I call myself that I'm a beauty tech designer, and I will try to explain that to you, what that means. When I started this project, I started to see different wearables, and what I noticed was all these wearables, like smartwatches or these Google glasses, they are very connected to a specific clothing or accessory. But the thing is, like, we change what we are wearing every day. So today you are wearing this t-shirt or this dress, tomorrow will be another one. So how we can have technology on our body surface that it could be part of us? So then I started thinking about cosmetics. Because cosmetics is something that is very close to our body. So if we can think about technology that could be on our body surface, it could read closely biodata, but also is exposed, our skin, our hair, our nails are exposed. So if that's happening, we could also understand different things in our environment. But also watching the cosmetics industry, there are a lot of advances in manufacturing, in the product development, but the functionality of cosmetics is the same. If you think about lipsticks or moisturizer or any other beauty product, you apply that for highlighting some part of your body or to hide some part of your body, for making you feel pretty, or all these reasons that we use cosmetics. But what happens is that the functionality is the same. If we think about a red lipstick, I have a red lipstick, my mom had a red lipstick, my grandma had a red lipstick, it's the same. What if we could add technology to these cosmetics? So we could have powerful tools on our body surface. And if we think about how we place technology on our body, we have these on-body technologies, and this is part of the book that Clement was talking before about beauty technology. So we could place technology inside of the body. Mostly there are a lot of medical applications around this. Also, even you could buy online these RFIDs and put that inside of your body, and track things or program different things. And there are a lot of applications that are also working for people that, for example, they have cancer, so how they could have this tiny or nanotechnologies that could understand different things on your body, or maybe doing some surgeries. There are some advances on that too. Other thing is on our body is, like, for example, smartphone. We carry that with us. It's something that you don't wear. It's something that you have to, and we already done that. We adapt that to these smartphones. And it's kind of, we carry that with us, but it's not something that you wear. And if you think about something that you wear, we could think about wearables or skin interfaces. And the wearables will be those clothing or accessories, and we were talking about these smartwatches, Google Glass, or all other t-shirts that could have technology. But if we think about the skin interfaces, it could be your skin or appendages. Appendages of skins could be, your goosebumps, your fingernails, your hair. So all these things are part of our body surface. And the proposal, or my proposal, is called beauty technology, and it's how we can place technology in our skin, in our fingernails, in our hair, to create an interactive platform on our body surface. So when I started thinking about this project, I was looking to different. So I was living in Hong Kong for a while when I was doing my PhD. My PhD I did that in Brazil. Actually, I'm Peruvian, but I did my master and my PhD over there, but with exchange program in Hong Kong. And what was interesting for me, walking around Hong Kong, was that these girls were putting these fake eyelashes in the metro, and they were very skilled to do that, like without, very, very precise putting that, or putting their fake fingernails. And I don't know you guys if you know this, but for having very, very nice fingernails, girls goes to the salon and they spend like 3 hours having these acrylic gels and doing this UV and putting that for a long time. And I was thinking, like, we are already spending all this time putting these implements on our body. What if we can already put like some small technology in that, so we can have a new powers? So that's why I believe like beauty technology could be seen as a new subfield into wearable computing that is not clothes and accessories, it's your own body. And we are moving from traditional to interactive cosmetics. And what that means, like at some point we will think about like how our body will be totally connected, and that will not be that far away. If we already have these smartwatches, we already have all this technology that we are wearing. What about makeup? And you will see, I will show you around this talk different projects, and I would like to show that these projects could not be applied to just one area. I work with artists, I work with actresses, sometimes with musicians, but I also have some medical applications. I will show you a little more about that. So this was the first project I developed, and it's called Conductive Makeup. And I was thinking about these fake eyelashes, as I was saying to you, and I got these eyelashes in a drugstore, and I was thinking how we can put technology in these ones. And because I wanted to make it invisible, to make it look like real eyelashes, I used a chemical process to metallize them. So I went to a chemical lab with my white coat, and I tried to make it conductive with electrolysis and with different process to go using also silver and black nickel. The black nickel was the thing that it makes it look black, so I didn't change the color of the eyelashes, still look like very dark color. So these eyelashes that looks like normal eyelashes, and putting one up of your eyelid and one down, like you can see on her, and also with an eyeliner. Like girls, we also use eyeliner, but this eyeliner is also a conductive sticker. And having this conductive sticker with the eyelashes, when you blink, when you close your eye, we could understand you're blinking. And then I learned that blinking is something very interesting. So I usually use these for my projects that are, I understand, voluntary blinking, because we usually close our eyes like 100 milliseconds, that your eyes, each time you irritate your eyes, it gets closed. If, for example, you get bored, like my talk is too boring, you start blinking slowly. So it's also connected with your emotions or your states of being, like all the time, how you're feeling, how that's also connected with your blinking. But the projects I will show you are basically using voluntary blinking. So I wait like 500 milliseconds that your eye will be closed for understanding that as a voluntary blinking. You can just with blinking, you can connect with a computer, or you can connect with other objects that are around you, or you can just program even something on your clothes. So how we can activate the world just with blinking? Just imagine that you can, like something that could be kind of science fiction, like people will say, like imagine that you blink and turn on the lights. How we can make this possible? We'll show you some videos. This first video is an art project. When she blinks, different light patterns around her turn on and off. And I usually present this in some fashion shows and exhibitions. And the one over here, the first one, or maybe turn a little down. And the first one, it's called Arcana, and she's an actress. And when she's going around the theater with her blinking, she could change the lights and the music that is around her. And this one is my superhero project, and this is me. This is my secret identity. My free time, I'm a superhero. And what I did, I was participating in this context called TI. It was in Barcelona, and the context was about how you can augment human capabilities. And I thought, like, well, there's no better way to be a superhero. And I had the superpower of levitating objects. So in this case, with my blinking, I made this drone to fly. And that was the project, and I won the contest being a superhero. So then I was start thinking about how we sense on our skin. And well, I like to talk a lot about this story because it was the first time someone approached me to say to me that he really needs the technology. And so after the superhero project, it was a lot in the media, and I was showing that in different places. And there was this guy that came to me and said, like, you know, I really like your superhero project, and I would like to be also a superhero. And Felipe Esteves, he was 6 times Brazilian championship in Jiu-Jitsu, twice world championship, and during a training he hurts himself like around 14 years ago, and now he cannot move. He has a disability, he is quadriplegic, and he always needs someone for doing her daily life activities. I really admire him. Like, now he already finished his master in administration, and now he's doing a PhD. So he continue going on with his life in a very powerful way. And well, what he told me is like, there are very, very simple things for you guys that it could be like changing the channels. But changing the channels for me is like, sometimes I have to wait like 30 minutes for someone come to change the channel or turn on the TV. But it's 30 minutes of my time that I'm not doing anything. But if I could be a superhero, and if I could have the superpower of turning the channels with my blinking, I could have independence. But of course, I won't put makeup to a guy. So I create this other project that I call this effects in makeup. Effects means special effect makeup. And I used to say that this is kind of a wrinkle platform. I put different sensors in different parts of our muscles. And if we think about our face, we have around 43 or 45 muscles in our face that they move individually or in conjunction, depending of the gestures, depending of your reactions. And when that happened, what if we could also think about voluntary movements for, you know, turning on the air conditioning or turning on the TV or the radio or whatever. So we had different sensors like close to the eyebrow. So when you put your eyebrow up, the sensor will be closer. So when it goes closer, you could activate things. Close to the eyelid, so when you blink, you have like this, they also get closer. And close to the mouth, so when you smile, this is kind of like in the opposite way, it's closed and then goes up and open. And also in the lips, so when you close your lips, you could turn on. So something like that. So when you put your eyebrow up, like these sensors will be close together. And each of these sensors, we cover that using special effect makeup. So it looks like a second skin, but actually have sensors. Because I was thinking, if we're already going to put, you know, technology to someone that is very hard to him to recognize that he has to go into a wheelchair to go outside. So let's make it nicely to be proud of his skin or something like that. So this project is called Winky Mode. And what we did is we put these sensors on his face. And I like to show this image because it's the first time after 13 years that Felipe could turn on the TV by his own. And yeah, he was super happy about that. And we really were very happy that that happened. And now my lab in Brazil, they continue working with Felipe with more projects. So how it works is like you have like this necklace, and the necklace is kind of a remote control. So he's wearing the necklace that is connected to his face, to his makeup, and when he blinks with the right eye, turns the channels up, with the left eye turns down, and with both eyes could turn on and off the TV. And also, other thing that I like to do is to do some art applications. So when I went to Hong Kong, I was in Hong Kong Baptist University, and it was the arts department. And for someone that is from computer science, it was very different to be in arts department, because we usually think about if you do something, you have a problem and you have a solution. And that's it. And that's how we see the world. We have a problem and a solution. And then I was there and I was helping some students with their projects. And they bring me this project with different objects. And I was thinking like, okay, but what's the problem? And what's the solution? And I said like, no, there is no problem. It's kind of my passion, my feeling. And then I started to understand a little more about art. And now I use art, and it helps me a lot to show technology in a new way, because there are kind of futuristic technologies that I have been developing, and it's easier to use art to make people aware of what could happen. So this project is called Kinesi, and I developed this with different Peruvian professionals, with a director, a makeup artist. Even the music was done for this video, and we have been presenting in different places, in Barbican, London, in Stockholm, Ars Electronica in Vienna, and different other galleries. And I will show you guys the video, so you will see how our model, when she blinks, different lights and also LEDs on her hair turn on, but also when she raises her eyebrow, when she smiles, and when she closes her lips, also different interactions will happen. The other thing that I was doing, working with the skin, was like this project that we call Skin Sense. This kind of a tattoo, but this tattoo is connected to a bracelet. It's kind of a second skin that we could put in different places on our body, and it could detect touch. So when you touch your tattoo, you activate different things in your computer. And I have been doing this with Xin Liu, at MIT Media Lab, and we did this because we wanted to understand how skin interfaces works, and also how hard it is to make these skin interfaces. Because if you think about just wearables, there are many things you have to do. It's not something that you put in a box. It's not electronics to put in the box. You have to put on the body. And it's not just the aesthetic part that you have to take care. It's also like it always has to be working, and also it's something that you have to think about the shape of people and the size of people. Even that we have like 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, like our bodies are similar, but they are not the same. So when we design wearables, just in clothing accessories, there are these constraints. But when we design wearables like skin interfaces, they have more challenges, like how we attach these wearables to our skin, and how our skin is also stretchable. How we make these also stretchable for our body. We have different skin types. Like some of people have more oily faces, or maybe some dry faces. What are the products that will be better for each of these people? Even when I was working with Felipe in this project, I remember that we make different tests, but at the time that we had to test on him, he had a very oily face, so he had to change the materials that we were working for that project. So there are many challenges that we need to think about when we talk about skin interfaces. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the fingernails. Part of our body is also the fingernails. And when I started this project, I started also watching these fake nails and also these acrylic nails that we usually put on our fingers to make our nails prettier. And I started putting some magnets, for example, and I really like it because imagine that you could have a magnet on your fingernail and you could go around and having, like, sensing different magnetic fields. So I feel like I had the sixth sense of my finger. And it's a different sensation. If you could try it at some point. It's very much fun. And also I was thinking I was wearing big, long fingernails, but when you interact with a tablet or with a smartphone, it's very hard to interact. So I created a nail polish that it was conductive, so it augmented the capacity of my finger. So when I was using my smartphone, it was easier. But what I will be talking about now is about these tech nails that are RFID nails. So if you see on the tip of these fingernails have these squares, and these squares are RFIDs. And these are the same technology that you have for paying the metro. What's the name of the metro here? Oh. Huh? RITP? RITP? Imagine that you could pay RITP instead of your card that sometimes you cannot find. Imagine that you could have just your fingernail and just pay the metro and go through. Also, you could, like for going to the university, you can just use your fingernail and you will not need any more these cards. Or, I don't know, for paying Starbucks, now they have also cards. And there are a lot of applications. Now we have more and more cards in our wallets. Why we can still have that on the tip of our fingers? So this is tech nails. Also, actually, I'm wearing these tech nails now. If you want to take a look later, I could show my fingernails. So, well, in this case, it's exposed. I was working with a Japanese company that gave me these very tiny. They are the smallest RFIDs that I have in Zone. And yeah, we could have different applications for that, and I will show you some of them. This is, I call it twinkle nails, and this is a piano in the air. Because if you remember when you pay the metro, you don't need to take out the card and touch the reader. Just going closer, it will read your card. So in that way, for example, here we have like 2 centimeters away that I could be playing the piano, and each fingernail could be a note. And how RFID works is like each of them have an ID. So each of my fingernails will be an ID. That's how I could interpret it and identify of each of my fingernails. Well, sometimes I use that for changing the slides when I'm making presentations. And also I did a belt for a pianist, so she was performing, going around the audience and playing the piano. It was fun. Another thing before that, if you see this, and as I already say that, you don't need to touch it. And this is kind of a piano in the air. So what if we can put other surface around it that is not air? What about water? So I will show you another project that I call it Aqua Dishing. And this is a DJ controller into the water. And well, I evolve it like in different ways right now. And when the DJ put her fingernails into the water, she could play some tracks or add different sound effects. And also I do that as a performative project. So in this case, you could think that you could have just 10 tracks, but actually I was working with a combination of fingernails, so I had like 80 tracks that, for example, this will be group 1 that goes from track number 1 to track number 5, group 2 from 6 to 10, and so on. So we could have like combination of fingernails, and also I present like with different DJs, like in Las Vegas, Conductive Corporation, with Intel in San Francisco. So each DJ have their own way to perform. So I like also the idea of customizing that for the DJ. So it will be a nice performance. And also I like, as Clement said, I like magic. So I like the magic of how someone is using water for playing, and it's hard to tell because you are just using your fingernails. So our body surface, they have the skin, have fingernails, but also we have hair. And I like a lot the idea of hair. Well, most of us, most of us have like this hair that is visible to everyone, but also it's something that is personal, it's private, it's part of your body. And it's also malleable. You can just create different hairstyles. You can paint it. It's flexible. It's malleable. I like that idea. But also I like the idea of having this hair like a tool. Like, for example, you touch your hair when you are thinking very much about something, or when you get angry a lot, or when you are maybe flirting with someone, you touch your hair. And all of these are unconscious behaviors. We don't, most of the time, we don't know that we are touching it. We just do that because it's unconscious. So the idea with this project was, why we don't use these unconscious behaviors, but consciously, to activate devices. So imagine that you can just touch your hair and send a message, or touch your hair and it's already the AC of your house is already on, just with a touch of your hair, and no one will notice that. So I call this project hairwear. And hairwear, I use a chemical process for metallizing the hair extensions, and I connect each of the hair extensions to a circuit. So imagine when you touch it, it becomes like your cell phones, like the screen. When you touch it, it's a capacitive sensor. So in the same way, we could have our hair as a capacitive sensor, but in an invisible way. So it's kind of like this. We have the green one that is the conductive hair. And around that also I put non-conductive hair for changing the capacitance of different parts of the hair. So if I touch the tip, it will be different because of the capacitive values, the touching the top. Even we can have like some gesture recognition, so we can detect when you're stretching your hair, just touching like that. And we can also detect some, so make it voluntarily. So we expect like to be 3 seconds for touching the hair before it's activated. And so I will show you a video of some applications that we have been working on. So you will see in this case each string is a different value on the smartphone. Selfies is always fun. But you could also think that, if, for example, if you're in a dangerous situation, just by touching your hair, you could ask for help or send a message to the police with your location. So, like, I feel like hair is a powerful tool when you're stressed or when you're flirting, but also it could be a powerful tool when you're in danger. So these projects I show you before is kind of like, I like the idea of invisible devices, that it looks part of your body, like your eyelashes, your fingernails. You didn't notice I was wearing this RFID on my fingernail. So I like that idea. But at MIT Media Lab, I was also thinking about how we can express ourselves through makeup, or how we can expose emotions or even the environment reflected in our body. So the projects you will see now are more kind of in a performative way, but also it's kind of like how you can extend our body and show it. And the first project I will show you is called Chroma Skin. So I was thinking, like, could we change our makeup automatically? Could we have the control of our makeup? So imagine that I go to the beach and my makeup could disappear. And I go to the nightclub and it will be like a more dramatic and dark makeup. Or imagine I go to work and I don't want to have like all this dark makeup, but more, not a more discreet one. So with this project, well, what you're seeing now is, we call this passive makeup. It's kind of a sticker that usually you kind of apply like a tattoo, like with water, and that's what usually a lot of kids wear these tattoos. But imagine that you can have that as a in your skin, on your skin, and it could change the color depending on your body temperature. So this we were using thermochromic inks, and it changed the colors around 33 degrees Celsius. So also it depends where you are, or how is your body, like the temperature of your body. If you go to a colder area, maybe it will change the color, or if you go to a hotter area, it will change color. But also we wanted to make it to change it automatically. So to that layer of thermochromic, we put a circuit, and that circuit we could control it, so we could heat it up and down, so we can control the first layer that is thermochromic. And thermochromic inks are this material that it changes color depending on the temperature. I don't know if you saw these mood rings, and there were time ago these kind of products, but now we are thinking about makeup. So one layer of thermochromic ink, a circuit, and isolation because we don't want to heat people's skin, and also how we attach that to the skin. I'll show you very fast video. So this is very fast. You could see that how it's changing from black to pink, and from yellow to pink too. And we connect our makeup to a microcontroller, so that's how we could activate it. So other thing that we were working is about body illumination. So how we can use our skin also to transmit different things, more as a performative way. Like for example, this video, the first one, the big one that you will see, we call dialogue with the illuminated skin screen, and it's more a conceptual video. It's an artistic video that it shows kind of living organisms that are like electric ones that lives on our body, in our body, in our skin. We could also think about creating a display on the air. So this is other project that we did for creating emoticons and of having more attention just with waving. So an image will appear, or we could have some gestures that are done by lighting, and it will be on your body. Or these ones that is, we call this carnival mask that we did for Halloween. Like we had 300 kids wearing this face painting, going around, and we could control the lighting of it. First we control that, and we go with hello, yeah. It goes with the music, but also they were going to the haunted house, and then it was turning on, and kids were scared. And these 2 days we were at the Fab Lab here, and they were doing some similar project like this with the students. And yeah, I think that you will see some photos and videos on the social media of the university. It was very, very much fun to create these kind of masquerade balls, but with electronics. And what I wanted to tell you is, well, at least what I would like you to take out from this talk is how we can have technology anywhere. It's how we can create different objects that are around us with technology. And what I was doing is beauty technology. And beauty technology for me is this integration between technology and cosmetics. Because I believe that if you think about wearables today, these smartwatches or all these devices, we have this fashion industry, like for example, Levi's, that make this partnership with this big tech company, that's Google, for creating these capacitive touch or different devices on their clothing. But what will happen, I think, in the future years is that we will see that also with cosmetics company and also with tattooists and makeup artists. So how we could integrate these two worlds, how we can integrate the cosmetic industry and the tech industry, and to make our body interactive, and to add a new functionality to technology and to cosmetics. So cosmetics will not be just to be pretty, but also will have a new superpower. Well, thank you very much. Merci.
Thanks a lot, Katia. I think it was a very pleasure to listen to you, and now you probably give a lot of new idea of project, of some of the students that we have here. So thank you very much for your talk. Maybe we have time for a couple of questions before the cocktail. If you are afraid by English, I can try to translate if it's not too much complex for me. Not philosophical aspect, but yep.
Hi, Katia. I'm Marie Heikel. I'm a professor here. I was amazed by your presentation. And I would like to know what are the next steps, what are your future projects?
Another one?
No? Okay. Okay, I follow instructions too. So, yeah. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. I'm still working with beauty technology. I'm still doing some other artistic projects. Actually, now I'm doing. I was doing at the Media Lab a more dramatic, more yeah, controversial project. I cannot talk very much about that, but it's just to go in deeper in the skin and with biotechnology. So it will be something that I think it will be very controversial, but it's something that I also could believe that it will happen. So I was moving my last research was moving not just on the top of the body. I was moving a little deeper, and it's still fun. I still thinking in new opportunities to do that with cosmetics industry and to make it in a bigger way. And now I'm working with makeup artists to create new interactions. So I still working in new projects. I still working with the arts and thinking about what will be the next step of your technology. Yeah, thank you. Awesome.
Hello, Katia. I'm Audrey. I'm working for a Swiss cosmetic brand. What you are doing is amazing. You push really the limits of cosmetic. What I can see is that today you have wires everywhere on your technology. Is there any chance that one day we have wireless cosmetic option?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, and that's a good point. And I think that's a challenge that all wearables we have now. We have this battery problem, basically, and that's why we need to connect that outside. That's why we need wires. There are some applications that they don't need to have these wires. Like, for example, my fingernails, I don't have a battery and I don't have a microcontroller because by induction, it will read my fingernail. So there are other projects that, like by induction, it could be reading these technologies, and yeah, it's basically like that. It's a hard program today, but I think in the coming years it will be more advances in battery and also in the size of the devices. There are more and more projects nowadays in nanotechnology, and also if someone is working around that, I encourage you for looking for tiny devices, or nanotechnology is also an interesting area of research. And yeah, let's see in the following years. I think that this is not ready for today, some of the projects, but like, so for example, you could see nowadays, I think in London, they are already selling these fingernails with RFIDs. You could buy the metro. In Tokyo, there are other RFIDs that have some lighting. So when you touch your phone, it has some lighting, very Tokyo style. And yeah, there are a lot of projects like that. And I'm very happy because I came with these ideas in 2012, and now we can see that already in the market. So yeah, let's see.
Thank you.
Hello, Katia. I'm a beauty blogger, and I wanted to share with you some points, especially like L'Oréal that has presented at the CIS in Las Vegas, a patch, which is for a UV patch actually, with technology as you did, very tiny technology. And I wanted to know if you have projects in this area, in the health area, or in the around other dermatologic problems.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good example. I also like a lot about this project. If someone don't knows about that, it's kind of a tattoo that has a heart shape, and it detects UV light. And when you put your smartphone close to that, you could detect if you need to apply more sun cream. Yeah, and this is a very interesting project, and it's basically more related to health applications, health through to the body. So it's like it's to the skin. I like that idea a lot, but if you think about that, it's very similar as a cosmetic, because it's okay. You are still understanding your skin, and you need to apply more products. My proposal, it was a little more about how you extend your body to interact with other objects. So it's how the concept of cosmetic could be changed to in a way that it could be interacted with other objects. But yeah, there are a lot of applications around that, even if you're interested in these kind of projects related with skin health. The Rogers Group in University of Illinois, they are doing a lot of advances in that. So actually, that project is also, they make it together with MC10, this Rogers Group company. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Katia. We'll finish, and if you have more questions, you can ask her during the cocktail. So thank you very much to be with us.
Thank you. Merci.